Hello, my friends, and welcome to the next video in the Create Better Content series, where I show you how to tap into your creativity so that you can stay consistent with your marketing and reach more customers. My name is Penny, and I'm going to be your guide through this unique creative content development process. I want to teach you how to create more engaging content to post on social media, more remarkable content for your sales pages and email funnels, and all of these things combined to help you reach more qualified customers. And if you want to learn more about creativity and how this can help you develop your content marketing plans, I would love to see you hit that button below and subscribe to this channel. And below in the description box, you are going to see a few links. The first link that you're going to see is for the Content Calendar Blueprint. This is an email-based program. It's a training program that I pulled together for you. That's a comprehensive guide that's going to help you develop your content calendar based on where your business is and your growth stage. And the best part of this program is that you already have access to all of the different paths to develop your marketing strategy. So when you're ready to go to the next level or ready to launch a new product or service, you always just come back to the program, click on the link, and then you can find a content calendar development process that's going to work for you and your business. And the second link that you're going to see is that you can subscribe to the Create Your Business program. We have a supportive group online place where you can join us. It's called The Collective. Well, actually, the full name is the Marketing Strategy Collective, and we meet on Patreon. And when you get together with us and join us in the collective, you can see what happens with your marketing strategy, and you'll experience these creative activities, and you won't be doing this by yourself. So you've got the links below, and you know what to do to learn more. So today's video, I want to talk about planning for your marketing. Since we are now in November and the year is just winding down and moving as quick as we can, before we know it, we are going to be in the new year. So this is that time of year when we all start thinking about setting strategies for our businesses, thinking about what we're going to be doing in the next year, thinking about what happened this year and how can we make sure that everything that was good gets transferred over. And then the things that didn't work for us, we can tweak them and make them better. Because here's the thing, having an actual plan, a marketing plan, is such an important piece of your business. So I want to talk through this process. And what I want to do is I want to really focus on not just the plan itself, but some of the mistakes that I see. Some of the mistakes I see when I talk to my clients, some of the mistakes I see when I talk with people online, and I do my workshops, or when I interact with other business owners. So let's talk about these common mistakes, especially the ones that are connected to our marketing plans, and how we can actually avoid them as we're moving into the new year. So let's go through this, because I do want to make sure that as you are starting your planning process, that you're going to be in a much better place at the beginning of the year than you were at the beginning of this year. So mistake number one, you got a plan, and maybe it's like a game plan, but it's not a real strategy that you have in place. And what I mean by that is that you're making the mistake of thinking that a whole bunch of activities, action steps, and tactics together, and all of these combined, is what's going to constitute a plan. And maybe these things are really important for your business, things that you're trying to achieve, like sales, awareness, growing your email list, things like that. But the problem that a lot of people are having is that this game plan is not a strategy, because there's nothing here that's going to connect all of these activities and tactics together. There's nothing that's going to bridge the gap between what these tactics are and what your goals are. So I get it, because we've all got these tons of ideas, and it's easy to get when we see other people out there doing things, and we think, oh my goodness, I should be doing that, or I should be there, or I should be doing that, I should be on that social platform. But there's no real plan to implement them. It's like imagine going on a road trip and you have no idea where you're going, but you're just going to get on the road and you're just going to start driving, and you're going to think to yourself, if I stay on this highway, I will eventually get there. But that's not the way this works with marketing, nor would it work if you're trying to get someplace. And that's what it's like without having an established marketing plan. So how do we avoid this? What I would suggest that you do is I would take a look at what you're currently doing. Look at what's happened this year. Look at maybe even happened the year before, the year before. And if you think about what your company's goals are, especially going into the new year, you want to think about how you're going to get there. What are the strategies that are going to help you reach your intended outcomes? And then from that space, then that's when you pull the tactics in. That's when you think about the action steps. That's when you think about all those things combined. That's going to help you pull this marketing plan together. Because this marketing plan, from that perspective, when you start out thinking about where you want to go, then your marketing plan is going to be aligned with how you're going to get there. And it's going to give you tactics and timelines and resources and all of this stuff combined together into a comprehensive plan. So the mistake number 2 is trying to do too much. I am totally guilty of doing this. And that's one of the reasons that I brought this mistake in, because years and years and years, I would do this. I would say, and I'm going to do this group program, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And I just would constantly creating content, and just creating all of these challenges and workshops and all of this stuff. And it was really exhausting, and it created burnout with me. And I think it also diluted my marketing message, because I was always trying to do way too much. And it literally took me during that downtime from COVID, when COVID hit us and everything kind of shook up, I used that time to rework my business model. And when I reworked my business model and I was able to take a step back, I realized what I was doing every single year. And I finally figured out how to stop doing this. And I get it, because we all have so many great ideas and all of these things that we want to do to help move our business. But we have to keep in mind, especially if you're a small business, especially if you are a solopreneur and it is just you doing everything, you have limited resources. You have limited time. You have limited capacity, because if you've got client projects, if you've got, networking stuff that you need to be doing, things that you need to, like updating your website, all of these things combined just add to your marketing. So you want to make sure that you have the time to accomplish all of them. So how do we avoid this? We avoid this by prioritizing the marketing strategies and limiting them to maybe 3, maximum 4 ideas. And this is throughout the whole year, not a month. You want to be focused. And when you're focused with what you're doing and who you're reaching and what your goal is that you're trying to get there, you actually become intentional. And your marketing becomes more purposeful, because there's thought behind these strategies. And when you identify your 3 most important and impactful things that you're going to be doing, you are also able to then take a look at the strategies and the tactics that you need to do for each one of those 3 things that you want to accomplish. And this allows you to prioritize. You can prioritize, your time. You prioritize your resources. You prioritize your capacity. And so when we think about it from that perspective, it's about, I can't get everything done, but I want to get the things done, and I'm going to prioritize the things that are going to help me move the needle, that are going to help me see growth in my business. And because I've done this, and I will always do, and I used to always do this. I'm not going to say I always do, because I don't do this anymore, but I used to do this, because what would happen to me is mistake number 2, I would always do too much. And that would lead me into what I call mistake number 3, which is just repeating last year's plan. You probably hear some people say, well, we've always done it this way, or last year was so great, so let's just do the same thing. And the challenge is that you miss out on the opportunities to learn the lessons from the previous year and make things adapt and tweak and shift to what is going on and what's changing. Maybe things are changing in the social platform that you're using. Maybe things are changing with your target demographic. Like, let's just say, for instance, that you're talking to moms, and when you originally were talking to them, 5 years ago, they had toddlers. Now they have kids in school, so their target has shifted as well. So you want to think about all of these things combined. And it's so easy to do that when you're overwhelmed and you're thinking that you're doing too much. You're like, oh, just repeat everything that I did last year. Even repeating everything down to the email messages that I sent out, the posts that I'm putting up. It's the same thing over and over again. And you're missing out on this opportunity to really reach new customers, to really grow your business to the level that it needs to grow. So how do we avoid this? One of the best ways that we can avoid this is look at each year individually. Each year is not a repeat of the year before. We can review, all the successes that we had in the previous years and what made them successful. Those are the things that we could say, okay, this promotion was very successful, or when I released this product, it was really successful. But I want you to think about the things that were successful and what can you do to innovate them. And what I mean by innovate is we don't want to imitate it and just repeat the same thing over and over again. We want to take the foundation of the thing that was so successful, the product launch, the challenge, the workshop, or whatever it was, and we want to innovate it and think about how we can improve upon this. Or if it was something that was unsuccessful, we can also take the time to look at it and say, what happened? Why did this fail? And so if we're thinking that we're just going to keep repeating this particular thing and it didn't work for us, but we're just going to repeat it because it's a lot easier just to repeat last year's plan than to really think about what we're doing and being intentional and purposeful about that, pointing my finger at me because I've done this in the past. I'm laughing at myself. It doesn't help you move the needle on your business. So I want you to think about this when we're trying to avoid how to just repeat last year's plan. I want you to consider new trends, new technologies, new social platforms. Think about your capacity. Has your capacity changed? Have you taken on more clients so now the time that you have to work on your marketing is less? Are you in a place right now you've brought in a virtual assistant, or maybe you work for a small company and you've got another team member? All of these things combined should determine what's going on in your plan. And you want to make sure within this time that you are taking a look at your strategy, taking a look at the tactics, the actual action steps that you're using that are supporting the strategy. Because for each one of these steps, you're going to look at timelines. You're going to think about how you're going to measure your success. And you want to think about the resources, your budget, your time, the tools, the technologies. You want to have all of this stuff in place because each one of these pieces and parts is going to determine how you're going to move forward with your plan. Even things down to the specificity of which channels you're going to be marketing on, how frequently you're going to post, what you're going to post, and the types of content that you're going to post. You bring all of this together into the plan, and that this is what's going to help you, really move forward and start growing your reach online and start really growing your business. Because I really think that sometimes when we just keep going back to the old things on and on and on, and we don't allow ourselves to look for new opportunities, our businesses just kind of hit a plateau. And so I want you to think about that as you're thinking through your business planning process. Okay. So mistake number 4 is working by yourself. Now, I totally get that, especially if you're a solopreneur and you really do work by yourself because you do everything yourself. You work on your marketing, you work, on the clients, you work on the website, you work on the email. All this stuff is by yourself. I would definitely, especially when it comes to your marketing plan, I would really want you to consider thinking about reaching out to an accountability partner, participating in a group program where you can interact with other business owners. You want to be in a place where you're not just working on your marketing in a solo, because sometimes we look at our marketing and we're so in depth and so ingrained into our own business. We can't see outside because we've got, I don't want to say we've got blinders on, but we can only see what we know. And a lot of times another person can come in and within 10, 15 minutes of listening to you talk, they can immediately say, what did you think about this? What about this? What about this? So that is one of the things that I've talked about. So again, if you're not a part of a group, you should join one. And quite honestly, this is the reason that I created the Marketing Strategy Collective. That membership group I was telling you about that we have on Patreon. Because how you can avoid this mistake. And if you don't have a place to go and you don't have people that you can talk to, you can join us on Patreon. Because if you're done with just doing this on your own and you have been looking for some help with your marketing, I would love to see you join us in the Marketing Strategy Collective. You're going to get personalized feedback on your marketing efforts. We're going to help you with your sales pages, your launch email sequences. We can even help you with your content ideas. And we can take a look at what your marketing plan is and help out with, it's an online exchange of ideas with other like-minded business owners. So having an opportunity like this where you can stop working in a solo bubble and work more in a collaborative space is going to help you have a more robust, a more comprehensive marketing plan, because it's not just what's going on with your head. It's great to get feedback and to get input from other business owners. So, mistake number 5, and I see this all the time. Mistake number 5 is not tracking your results. As a business owner, you should be tracking what your marketing plan is doing. And I mean tracking to see the measurements, tracking to see your progress. How do you know if the work that you're doing is working? I mean, let's say for sakes, an example here. Let's say you're running Google ads, right? How do you know if it's impactful? Can you attribute any of the results back to this ad? Did you get your results like web traffic or email signups? How do you even know this? So how to avoid this is to create some kind of tracking system into everything that you do. Like, let's say for the Google ad, maybe you had a specific website address that these people were going to. So that way, you can check your Google Analytics and check the landing page on your website. You can see how many people actually clicked on the Google ad and went to it. And your Google ad insights are going to tell you about conversions and click-throughs, and it's going to be able to tell you what was related to that ad. You can track visits to your website. Did they land on that one page, and did they go to other pages? Did they sign up for your email? Did they download, a free something or other? You want to make sure that everything that you're doing is something that you can track and measure. And what I mean by measuring things, I don't mean that the word is that everybody likes to call it vanity metrics. I'm not referring to your number of followers. I'm not referring to, reposts and things like that. What I'm referring to are the things that are actually going to create growth for your business. Like I said, somebody who downloads something to get onto your email list, that creates growth for your business. Somebody who landed on that page from the Google ad and takes action, maybe they read the blog post and then, bought your $20 product that was connected to that blog post. That's what I mean by tracking and measuring what's happening. Because on a monthly basis, you should be able to look at your marketing results. You should be able to know where to see these metrics that you can review, and you can see the changes that are happening from the things that you've implemented based on your results. Because you could go in there every single month and you can tell what's working and what's not. So it kind of gives you this, this regular overview of everything that your marketing efforts are impacting. Because there's many things when it comes to our marketing plan. And when it comes right down to it, we want to make sure that we are creating a marketing plan that's going to help us grow our business, that's going to help us reach more customers. That's going to help us close more customers. It's going to help us make more money. This is the point of it. And if you are not tracking what you're doing, if you are not creating a fully comprehensive plan, if you are trying to do too much, if you're just saying, whatever, I'm just going to use last year's plan because I just don't have the time for this, you are limiting yourself and your business for the opportunities out there that you can really start to grow and see significant growth. So I want you to think about all these mistakes that people are making as you are going into your marketing planning time. I want you to take the time to define your strategy. I want you to think about how you can embrace new technologies and how you're going to measure your results. Because when you do all of these things together, and when you really spend the time to really pull together a strategic, intentional plan, you're going to create an effective marketing plan that's going to drive revenue and support long-term growth for your business. So thank you so much for joining me today on this creative journey. If you've enjoyed this content about creative content development, I hope you'll hit the share button and let's keep this conversation going. And if you are just done with doing this on your own and have been looking for help with your marketing strategy, especially if you need some help with your marketing planning, I would love to see you join us at the Marketing Strategy Collective. The link is below, and you can learn more about how you can get personalized feedback on your content marketing efforts, your sales pages, your content ideas, your email funnel, all of these things together where you can stop working in a solo bubble and work in a collaborative space to get the help that you want for your current content marketing efforts. Because here's the thing, I've got your back, my friend. But the next move is yours. You need to click on the link below and join us at the Marketing Strategy Collective. You are magnificent, my friend, and let me be the first to say, I'm proud of you. Until next time.